nothing, but, you know, these things happen. And what I'll probably find is that things are too loud now because of the other adjustments I made. Yep, true to form. What I'll probably find is that things are too loud now because of the other adjustments I made. Yep. Okay. Let's just go. Cool. So, last couple days I haven't been on here. I have been playing a little bit on my Game Boy Advance SP, and consequently I'm confused because I think I'm right at the end of the second world in my other game. Oh, look at this stupid thing. And yeah. So this part I think I remember fairly well, where you need to go. You kind of follow him, sometimes not. I'm just going to make an adjustment here. Okay. That'll be better for me. You probably won't notice or care. Oh, but now I wasn't paying attention to where the king went. Darn king. Our king's always making so much trouble. Okay, I literally wasn't paying attention at all, because that was when I chose to do my setting change, so yeah. Gonna have to check all of the different event points basically here. That was a really bad start, but at least, yes, okay. Yeah, but at least because there was that first video, I will end up discarding that, I suppose. Good, because nothing happened. But just a lot of trouble configuring the audio. I don't know why my OBS settings changed there. So, we're at this town of ruin, or whatever they choose to call it. We've got a pretty good view of like a full or nearly full moon out there. I haven't really been paying attention to my phases lately, but it's kind of funny. It's right in front of me where I set up here. You'll see I'm in a different spot than usual. And that's because I am at my parents' place. We've gone away for part of our summer vacation, and for a few reasons. One of which is yesterday we went on a little fun day trip to a significant amusement park called Canada's Wonderland. Me and my two oldest kids and my wife. That was great fun. And that was partly in honor of my birthday, which is today. I should change the stream to say birthday stream, but I don't know how much attention I want to attract here. After all, I can barely configure my own audio. There's a lot of services where I never have trouble configuring my audio. Like in the nature of my work, I find and my study, I find myself using Adobe Connect a lot. I never have audio problems on Adobe Connect. Just never. In D&D, I use someone else's Mumble server for my own D&D. I've used the Roll20 audio. My friends have often had problems. I've never had problems with it. This isn't some expensive headset. This is about the cheapest headset you can find, or at least it was at the time when I bought it. But, yeah. For some reason, I never really have audio problems, and then things like that happen. Only on my OBS. And only, it seems, because things change pretty arbitrarily. Whoa, what did I do? Oh, I ruined everything. My communities thing I just noticed now says ROM hacks, but this is no ROM hack. There was a little light save editing at the beginning. It's no longer relevant. I have no idea if I needed resting. I kind of doubt it. I always feel like when I walk into the city of Ruin, like, oh, this is going to be a big deal, and I forget that kind of nothing happens. This is a big, I guess, exposition thing. It's such a funny thing to have. Free shurikens. Could be useful. Yeah, and so I've been playing more with my blue mage, or my dancer blue mage, dancer white mage group. It's interesting. The dancers pull out really good damage. I'm just looking at my JP totals there. Pretty much, the blue mage, I put their secondary as white, sometimes dance. Everyone else, I pretty much put their secondary as blue, because blue magic has so many utility applications. MP is somewhat a constraint, but I'm at the point where I've got one of the gold hairpins, or hair ornaments, depending on the version you're playing. This whole section of the game is the most ridiculous set of Deus Ex Machina. It's like, if this were in any other game, you would think, what laziness is this? Except possibly Final Fantasy VIII, where you're literally flying through space and run into an operable spaceship. That doesn't usually happen in space, from my understanding. I'm going to start fast-forwarding here. Oh. Now I have to do something. So today was my birthday. We kind of did most of the birthday stuff the last couple days. So today, you know, there was a tasty meal. I wonder if Romeo's ballad works. Wouldn't surprise me. But we'll cast the regen and see if that's useful. We may want to use either a lightning rod, thunder rod, or a thunder scroll. Probably thunder scroll. Probably I'll just throw one on my next turn. Not prolong this fight a whole lot. This fight can be frustrating. There's this. It's one of those fights where the combination of HP leak and weakening come. Oh goodness, that was fast. I was making it sound really interesting, but it turns out it wasn't that interesting. Do people eat mashed potatoes with lobster frequently? That doesn't seem like something I want. I think anytime I've had lobster, there's usually been biscuits, but at the places that serve lobster around here, there's always French fries. I don't know. I can't have that anymore so much. Yeah, we get a little bit of free flight for a while. I forgot about that. Can we do anything with it? Not really, I don't think. There's Licks. We already went there with the Black Chocobo. Wind Shrine. Stones. Symbolic stones of obviousness. Garnak. Ruin Town down here. And when we fly over it, I think the next thing happens. And I think that's all you're waiting for at that point in the game. What's going on? Look, the town. It's from Gradius. And then I think you just basically need help. I don't think there's anything else special you can do at this point. So where were we told to go? The same meteorite that Galuf came from? They might want some love. Fortunately, there's a healing spring right here. Absolutely the most convenient place to be, right? Oh, geez, Louise, that was wasteful. That was terrible. Almost worth loading the save, but I'm not gonna do that. Oh yeah, I need to get rid of that stupid thing. I think in the near future I'm probably gonna want a frost rod. Who would I rather have the random dodging on? The ninja is actually useful. So let's leave that there. He can be a knife guy for a little bit. Is this where I'm supposed to be? Yeah, it must be. Hopefully I remember which boss is here. I picked that frost rod. But sometimes I get confused about where the turtle shows up, where the chimera shows up, where the pyro balls show up, and the titan. Don't want to mess up where the titan is. Yeah, okay. Does this guy counter everything? Was he one of those? No. But he really doesn't like ice attacks. That much I remember. That didn't seem as strong as I wanted it to be. We're just gonna do that for a while. That wasn't so bad. No. I thought, okay. I guess I didn't realize where I was there. And that's without fast forward. Me not being able to land on a single tile. Either I don't have keen reflexes or there's input lag, I don't know. A lot of complaints about the Mega Man X Legacy Collection and the input lag on it lately, which is too bad. You know, I'd be interested, but if it's a crappy product, I don't want it. I already have all the Mega Man X games, I just want a convenient new package for my Switch. I think it's weird. I want to do some sailing, because getting all those free Thunder Scrolls seems like a really good idea. And these aren't going to give me Thunder Scrolls, but I guess I'll fight them. Oh, I didn't realize that had evasion. Does this also factor in evasion? We will never know. Oh. Even worse. We will never... It will never matter. I seem to recall this worked well, but... Oh, it doesn't. Maybe we should start running from those, except for, you know, the ones that actually have the thing I'm looking for. There must be one of these convenient points for sailing around the world here, right? If we want to get really mindless. Nope, no thank you. That was pretty cool. I actually hit the sail around the world part to the tile. See, that's what I'm good at. But I forget if I'm over leveled or not. These aren't the guys I want to... You know the guys I want to fight. The Thunder and the Thunder Alimony. These guys. That somehow worked out. Okay. A couple extra lightning scrolls. I don't know if I should be, like, stockpiling. I don't want to. Then again, I could use the money toward rings. Do I have any kind of easy way to beat these guys? just attacking frequently and being hopeful. It worked. Oh, that was terrible damage and healing. Dude has a lot of hit points. I think maybe I should get rid of the preemptive ability. I don't know. Love me some common drops. Golly. Wow. I've never punched myself for that much damage. In fact, I don't know anyone who has punched me or punched themselves. Now, I had said earlier, I think, that there was a good spot, well, not a good spot, an optimal spot to grind for money in World 1, and that's near Karnak. I stand by that statement, but, you know, this is also getting lightning scrolls. I'm taking a lot of punishment, though, I'm realizing. I don't know how well I'll be able to last with this. Maybe we can change our route to, like, go right by his story. Oh dear. Not worth it. Everyone else do something that involves hit points. Gained hit points. I don't think I got even one regen tick there. So yeah, on my Game Boy Advance one, I had talked about I had grinded out 4 flame rings in World 1, which is, you know, a fair bit of stupidity, especially without a fast forward. I found myself in Excess Castle really appreciating it. Like, it makes the blue dragons and the red dragons really trivial, and that's helpful. So I like the idea of doing that. Oops. I still think we didn't even have one regen tick in that battle. So, the Teen Titans movie came out today, as did, I believe, the next Mission Impossible film, which I've kind of enjoyed those, at least the recent ones. And, the Teen Titans movie looks very amusing, and people are saying positive things. And so me and my oldest son watched a trailer, and he really wanted to see it, but it's funny, because I was like, have we ever watched the cartoon? He said he had at school, which is weird to me. Anyway. So we wanted to go see it. We ended up not going to see it out of laziness. We had a busy day yesterday. And, yeah, we instead watched a bunch of episodes of Teen Titans Go today. We watched what had to be hours of Teen Titans Go. I wasn't there for every bit of it, but I think we watched like 14 episodes. It was like binge watching with my son. Well, my oldest 2 sons were actually both quite interested in it. It was interesting. That show is funny. And I mean, that's what it's supposed to be. It's like a superhero show, but they don't do anything heroic. It's just silliness. It's super silly. The movie looks like it's going to be good. I'm going to do my best to see it at some point soon. Might have to bring all my kids? I don't know. Which should be fine. Which should be good. But yeah, today, you know, I'm at the beach. There were some storms, but between storms we did a little bit of swimming. It was a little bit of swimming and a little bit of a lot of Teen Titans. A lot of Teen Titans. Not Team Titans. I just can't speak. Although in one episode it was Team Titans. It was a weird birthday, you know? Chilling out and watching a show is good, but watching a show you've never watched with relatively little in the way of reason for it, it was just odd. By my own admission, but my wife plays it up a lot. I'm a bit of a birthday princess. I like having a good birthday. I feel like I always did as a kid. And like if I missed celebrating my birthday with one part of my family, there'd be a second party, and sometimes I'd end up having like 4 birthday parties. My wife's childhood, she'd probably say it wasn't quite like that. I think she had at least a couple good birthday parties. She's talked about a couple funny ones, but yeah. So what happened was, we got married very close to 7 years ago, And the, so our wedding, my birthday is July 26th, our wedding anniversary is July 29th. And I think the year we got married, I was sad that she didn't make a bigger deal of my birthday when we were getting married in 3 days. And I think she's always kind of, she doesn't dig that. Let's say she doesn't dig that. So I think that's why she pretty openly calls me a birthday princess and makes fun of me for that. Today was a pretty chill birthday, but there's been other birthday things, like we had that trip to Wonderland, and I got a present a couple days ago. My kids got scooters, and we've been riding scooters a lot, so they got me a scooter. I've never, like, even seen an adult scooter before. I didn't think I was going to get one. I didn't know what to expect for my birthday. I like it. I've never, like, seen a grown-up on a scooter, I don't think. I don't know. I feel a little confused by it, but I'm open to it. And I think my wife mistook my confusion for rejection. So there's some damage control that'll be needed. I think I saw the regen tick there, so that's fun. If I can get even one regen tick, that Mighty March has paid for itself. I want to make sure at some point that I'm not missing a piano in World 1. That'd be a terrible thing to miss. And I'm basically only doing this, well, for money is one thing, but for thunder scrolls, lightning scrolls. So I should probably keep track of how sick of fighting out here I am. Maybe I'll just do it for basically one more in-visit. I don't think I'm going to need some giant stock pool of lightning scrolls. It is going to make the battles faster, but not on some crazy scale. Oh yeah, I'm seeing the regen ticks every so often. Okay. I just needed to pay attention. Open my eyes. Romeo's Ballad seems to be working on this guy, so that's a good opportunity to have a risk-free battle. I see a little bit of level gaining there. Is there a certain level I want? There's no more level-based magic coming up, is there? I don't think so. Level 3 Flare we're not going to see for a good long time, so being level 21 certainly isn't harmful. I got 50,000 so I could get a Flame Ring, that's fun. Like I said, we'll play until I feel like I should go to an inn, and then we'll get out of the water. And maybe we'll go to Karnak for the rest of the World 1 grind. And the limit on that might be the Summoner's MP. Oh, nice. I wonder if the counterattack has better accuracy somehow than a regular attack. I wouldn't think so, but I was just noticing the number of scrolls I have there. It's quite a few. don't have a lot of healing options, so there we go, 31 lightning scrolls. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. I was hoping to keep him sunlocked after one Mighty March. I guess that's not gonna work out. Maybe this is a good time to go to Karnak. Maybe I can just ride my wonderful boat to Karnak. That's not an easy thing to do, actually. I would find it weird, you know, finding a boat and then just trusting that I should sail it across the ocean. They don't know where this boat has been. They found it in a room. That's weird. Who rides a found boat? You know, especially if I was living in a fantasy setting. The people who live in a fantasy setting don't realize they're living in a fantasy setting, do they? Because, like, you would need to change your rules for evaluating simple things. You'd be like, you see an awesome sword. In real life? Sure, I'll pick up the awesome sword. But if you live in a fantasy setting, you gotta think, what are the odds that this sword is cursed? Like the dude in Secret of Mana, he could have avoided a lot of problems by exercising a little bit of critical thinking. You would think that they would teach the kids the lore of the village too, like don't pull mysterious random swords you find. If you found a sword in a stone in real life, admittedly it's real life, but would you be tempted to pull it? I guess we might because of the legends we're exposed to. That MP is getting pretty low. The lightning scroll count is getting pretty high. A little bit left to Karnak. I was thinking this would be a really cool time to write a Lua bot that would walk back and forth and basically hold the A button. And then it would stop operation when the summoner's HP was 0. That'd be kind of cool, right? I don't think we need this, but let's make sure. you think the monk can kick them all to death? Nice. Okay. Forget Ifrit. And you people tell me that monks are bad. That poor guy. I hope I didn't accidentally throw something useful there. What about if we did this? I could probably also have Bart's hide, because his song is a little bit unnecessary with the kicking. Now we don't have that harp sound. That's nice, I guess. This is a lot faster than on the SP. It's also kind of nice having kick. I mean, how was I doing it with Blue Mage Dancer? I was using a multi-targeted era, ended up being the fastest. At first, I was using level 5 Doom. First I was using Aqua Rake, or Aqua Breath, then realized level 5 Doom would be faster and cheaper. Then realized multi-target era would clear the screen. You get all of those shortly after this area in regular play. Yeah, this would be a cool thing to write a bot for. Walking back and forth, harming wolves. And then it could just, if you wanted to keep it simple, it could just stop operation as soon as someone's hit points were below 25% or something. You know, if I really don't care about experience and I want the money, I could kill a couple people. That would go even faster. That'd be pretty nice. It's that first input that gets me, though. I sometimes scroll off of image because I don't react to the battle fast enough. Right, so what happens in a back attack? Do they get hellfired? Hmm. I must have done something wrong. Oh no, I didn't. She just got faster for that particular fight. Odd. So I've been thinking a little bit about how this combination of jobs would play out in Final Fantasy III. It'd be interesting. Summoner wouldn't have any summons for a long time. Bard wouldn't have any harps for a long time, but otherwise there's not really a lot of barrier. And then in tactics, it's also interesting. I think it's fairly balanced in tactics. Do ninjas have the preemptive ability by default? Oopsie. Let's see how it goes anyway. Oh, well, that was a little bit unnecessary. There are a couple of Final Fantasy V Lewis scripts available. I think I might have seen them only... although I think I saw them for VBA and Super Nintendo in some way. Yeah, I'm still making controller input errors, so I don't know. It'd be pretty sweet writing the bot for that too. And I'm not even meaning bot. I mean like script for grinding in this specific location. And it's a gold grind. It would get you experience, but it's meant to grind gold. We almost got another 50k now, so that's pretty cool. And I mean, this is early. Like we could go and do the whole Earth Crystal fiasco now. Oopsie. Ugh. I'm wasting so much time by accidentally attacking with the ninja. I would need to know what memory addresses are used for map coordinates, something that flags whether you're in battle or not. And probably hit point locations. I would probably want to put in like a stop if hit points less than 25%, just so that, you know, if you gradually take enough tiny bits of damage that your party should stop, it does so. I'm tempted to stop and do that now. It won't be fun to watch though, because I have to find all the memory addresses and I got no audience, and right now we're just doing that. I think I'll stop and try and see what I can figure out here. It's odd. Okay. Oh, and now I have someone join the stream. Jeez Louise. What is up with people's timing? Okay. Okay, I'll keep playing after all. Don't want to do that if people are showing up. Okay, I was just saying that I was really tempted to write a script that would let me walk up and down in these forests and automatically kill money wolves for me. They're not actually called money wolves. I've never seen anyone call them money wolves, but we can call them money wolves because they are something wolf-like that is a reasonable source of money early in this game. This was recommended as a money grinding spot to me, and I don't exactly know why. There's no good drops from them. They come in big groups and they're easy to kill. That might be about it. Oh, and they're 100% encounters here. That's probably a big factor when I think about it. You don't need to prepare for multiple scenarios because you know you're just going to get wolves in this forest. Super easy to kill. And now my viewer count drops. I mean, it makes sense. I did say I was going to go do that. Oh, look at that. She ran out of MP. I guess that might be another thing I have to account for. Is it more trouble than it's worth to try writing a short script to do that? Probably. It's one of those things where you think about automating the problem and it takes more time than just living with the problem. Such as it is. I mean, right now I'm playing a game. How could I possibly complain about the constraints of the game? If you don't find it fun, don't do it, right? Then again, there are a lot of good games with parts that aren't fun. There are a lot of good games with parts that aren't fun. Famously, what was it, Mass Effect 2 that had that mining thing? Where you had to like mindlessly drag a cursor along a grid? Like, what was the point of that? I'd rather just have a 10% chance of success, or I don't know. Then there's the grinds in the classic games. At the start of the game where it's pretty much necessary to do anything. You don't beat Phantasy Star 1 without grinding on a few bugs. I don't think anyone's done that. I don't think even Taz's can beat Phantasy Star 1 without, you know, squashing bugs with a sword for minutes at least. In real time it would be, you know, probably a couple hours outside the first town squashing bugs with a sword. Dragon Warrior. I remember grinding a lot on Dragon Warrior. That's not something I play. Like, I've never really gone back to it in modern times. But I do remember, like, if you go beyond the starting area, you get killed right away. So you gotta go and kill some slimes until you have good equipment. And even then you're taking risks. Those early games were very good at making you feel like you were taking risks. There are no risks in Final Fantasy, you know, 6 and 7. There are no risks. Unless you build in your own risks by saying, you know, I'm not going to use materia, or I'm not going to use... I'm going to use a single character. That's a good one. What happens if I don't use Ifrit? Yeah, okay. It's still pretty fast. Oh. Okay. If it were Final Fantasy X, you know, that would be an overkill thing for sure. I'd get a bunch of useful, like, wolf hides or something. I don't remember what wolves dropped in that game exactly. Probably like a phoenix down because most dogs carry life-giving medicine. The creators of Final Fantasy just really like St. Bernards. So what happened was I toyed with the idea of stopping to write a script to automate burning dogs outside of Karnak. And then I noticed there were people. I thought quitting now would be dumb. People left anyway, I think. It's hard to tell. Because I'm not too stream savvy. And now I'm kind of ranting a bit while killing these dogs anyway. And what is happening is probably I'm close to the mark where I'd get 3 of those rings I wanted anyway. So, I don't know. It would have taken me a lot longer to write the script than to just beat wolves. Is it more right to call these dogs or wolves? They're canids. Canids. Large foxes. Doles. Maybe they're doles. I don't know what a knack is. Knack isn't based on a real word, is it? So much faster than on GBA. And when I have to manually target error every time. Yeah, man, I'm recommending monks to all my friends for 4-Job Fiesta. All my friends. Friends I have who stream. There are not many of them. There's my cousin who joined me for a stream last week. And he was saying he didn't know Final Fantasy 5, which is funny, because we loved Final Fantasy games when we were kids. And, you know, I got them really into Final Fantasy 1, and then Final Fantasy 2, and Final Fantasy 3, I think they got around the same time as me, finally. And they were super obsessed with all those games, so it's funny. We grew up with the same sort of entertainment we loved, but he's into different things now. He plays a lot of, I think he's probably still really into World of Warcraft. I don't know what else. He might be into MOBAs now, I have no idea. Do they still call them MOBAs, or do they just say Battle Royale now? Anyway, and then another good friend I have who streams regularly is GamerDadTV, which is funny because he plays fairly recent things. He really got into Fallout 4 recently. He was playing that, but his big thing that got him a following was DayZ. And he's often asked to play DayZ, and he's a fairly prolific DayZ streamer. And I kind of thought, he's not nerdy enough to go for this. And then today, of all days, he tweets this thing about, like, if you could cast any D&D spell you wanted at the 20th level, what would you pick? I would pick Cure Wounds and Teleport and Blink. Those are strange choices, especially Blink. You've already got Teleport. Why do you need Blink at 20th level? Anyway. Yeah. So GamerDadTV, I knew he was a little bit of a significant nerd. He himself played a lot of World of Warcraft back in the day. I understand he used to play with his daughter, and that was one of our first gaming-related conversations we had. Was him telling me about how he plays games with his daughter, and then later I find out he's GamerDadTV. So indeed, it's about him gaming and being a dad. Yeah. So he's a bit of a nerd if he can talk about specific Dungeons and Dragons spells. I don't know if he still plays Dungeons and Dragons. I do play Dungeons and Dragons with a couple work people. It'd be funny. We could make a group. That'd be kind of awesome. We should do that. Anyway, I've never talked to him about Forge Job Fiesta, but I wonder if that might be the kind of thing he could get into. But he plays real games. I don't know. It's probably not his clientele. I'm saying this is a real game. He plays mainstream games. Or popular games. This was never not a mainstream game, I suppose, but popular game. Popular, currently popular, is what I'm getting at. This is also going to be a good way to get JP. Oh, I got every single ability now. That's cool. Okay, that's the best you're ever going to do. You can keep your flame rod, because that's kind of fun seeing those damage numbers. You got dual wield, but that's kind of pointless. If you check out Ninja, I think they have First Strike enabled. So I really have to pick between Image and Smoke, is what we're learning here. And now Monk Friend here has all these redundant HP plus abilities, so I can pick between Focus, Chakra, and HP plus 30%. So I think Chakra is probably the most useful in general, but I might go for the HP abilities later. Ferris is already the damage sponge of the group. That Call ability is going to be fun to use, though. I think. Does it use learned abilities or anything? Oh boy. It'll come out again. There's our Whisper Wind. Does it go in order, like the Magic Lamp, but maybe opposite? This one will see Call come out for sure. Diamond Dust. This is looking like it comes out in order. The Magic Lamp starts at the end, doesn't it? Like it starts at Bahamut and works backwards. That was a Chocobo kick, I believe. That was another Chocobo kick. Does that egg thing pop up and use Call? I would like to see that. The egg thing, I think it's what pops up at the very end of the Magic Lamp, this weird Eggman summon. It's an Easter egg in about the most literal form of the term, the most literal form of the term possible. That was nice. So it doesn't seem to be pulling out things that are not yet available. which is sensible from something like a balance point of view. Although we know balance isn't really critically important to the design of this game. Someone gained a level. You know, I wasn't over leveled at the start of the stream when I was level 21, and I remember that because a lot of people end up getting to level 20 around the ancient library. It's probably a little high, but people do it on purpose because they want to make sure they get and or make sure they avoid level 5 death. And getting there by level 15 can be a stretch depending on your party. In a clean and normal game where you don't have any particular barriers facing you, getting to the ancient library around level 15 is normal. But that is not always the case, especially during 4-job Fiesta. This is fast. This is crazy. Hard to say if it's fun. I don't even know if I need to do this, but I can tell you again from my recent playthrough on my Game Boy Advance SP, the other run I'm doing, having those flame rings in certain areas is super cool. Super helpful. Makes things a lot easier. Wow, everyone just piled on Ferris there. That was weird. It's 11:54. Couple minutes left in my birthday. And then you will no longer need to watch for the pure sake of indulging me on my birthday. That was cool seeing Hellfire come out using the call command. These guys are weak against fire, and Lena's equipped with the flame rod, so it's quite strong. So I was saying, like, someone said something about, I was talking earlier about being a birthday princess. There was a comment at dinner, something to do with, you know, I got my present 2 days ago. We had my birthday kind of celebration yesterday, and then we got a dinner and cake today. And my wife had a comment that was something to the effect of, you know, 3 days of birthday, that's pretty good. And I was hearkening back to my oldest son's 6th birthday earlier this year, when there was a terrible late winter storm. Was it on his birthday? I think it was. Oh no, it was shortly before his birthday this year. And we had this service, Zoo to You, that brings exotic animals to your home, including a bunch of reptiles. He's really into different animals, including reptiles. Bring them into your home, and they set up kind of like an educational show for a specified number of kids, specified number of animals. Anyway, because of the winter storm, they canceled super last minute, and we had this birthday party all planned. And so it ended up that, I think it was like, what were we serving? Pizza? We got pizza on 2 different days. The first day, we didn't want to cancel the party, and it was super last minute that they canceled. So we had all these 5- and 6-year-olds over to play, just to play, and they just kind of ran amok. For a while, there was a group of them even playing Mario Kart as part of the party, which was kind of neat. And then on 2 days later, on his actual birthday, we did it again. And so he had 2 full birthday parties with friends and cake and pizza. We ordered pizza both days. The cake, there was enough cake left over on the first day that we were able to basically refrigerate and then reuse the cake. 2 full birthday parties. That's pretty good, especially when you're 5 or 6 and you got a big bunch of buddies coming over for household zoo animals. Pretty neat. They got to hold snakes. He got a chinchilla on his head. A tarantula. He liked holding the tarantula. There's a lot of snakes. It's kind of weird just having snakes out and about in your house, because they put them down on the floor, on a blanket. There are people who own pet snakes, but I don't think most pet snakes generally just, you know, hang around the house. And this was a variety of snakes. At one point there was just 2 of them out, because I don't know if they were ball pythons. I think they were something bigger than ball pythons. And, you know, one was kind of sitting there with some portion of its body up in the air looking around very, you know, in a snake-like manner. Serpentarily. And that was novel. The whole thing was quite novel. I didn't have anything like that for my birthday. I got to go on roller coasters. I've enjoyed going on roller coasters with my oldest son. He's really quite into that sort of thing. So, and a couple of weeks ago we went to Grey Wolf Lodge, which was basically for my other kids' birthdays, especially my middle son. And Grey Wolf Lodge is fantastic, and I've been on every water slide there now, including the one that basically just drops you down 3 stories. My oldest son wanted to go on water slides in the middle of the day when the lines were all huge. And I said, there's lines on everything except Wolftail. You want to go on Wolftail? And he just said, sure. And that's the story of how I got my 6-year-old son to very unceremoniously go on one of those crazy sudden drop water slides. He has very little fear of these things. His mom does not have little fear of these things. One of our first dates, well, you know, sorry, it's not even close to one of our first dates. Fairly early in our relationship, we did the thing where we went to Wonderland at night. They have this feature they call the Halloween Haunt. And as a part of it, they have, like, hundreds, I think, of basically film extras, characters in costumes, spooky costumes, roaming the park. Some of the some of the roller coasters are open at night. I think maybe even all, I'm not sure. But basically we made it through 2 rides, and she was like sobbing through the second one, and then she abandoned me with a horde of the undead. And that's not an exaggeration, except that the undead were people portraying undead, but her point of view is, if there were a zombie invasion during an event like that, you would never know. And that's where the danger comes from. So, my wife doesn't do well with high-stress situations of really any sort, including ones where you go intentionally for the high-stress situation. Look at that, I have tons of money. Okay, I'm glad we didn't stop to write a script. Although I might still want to do that out of personal interest at some point. Maybe if I get a lead on it, I'll stream the development of that. That'd be kind of fun. After all, there was another development type stream I wanted to do recently. I was talking about it. That thing I made for automating random arena type encounters in a recent D&D session, where my advice was, don't do it. Don't over prepare. You know, flame rings would be a great thing for this area upcoming, I think. Because there's I just went to an inn. What am I doing? Duh. Okay. There's only really kind of 2 enemies, and one of them is flame launcher, or something like that. We'll worry about the other kind of rings later. I don't think they're important for quite a while. I'll never need the leather shoes again, I don't think. I'm pretty sure my rings replace those. That's good. Got a bunch of levels, too. We're much stronger. This is nice. And we have tons of thunder scrolls. This should be a walk in the cake. Do your worst. Nice. Is all they do flamethrower? I don't remember. This would be a good time to have a thunder rod on. Yeah, if all they do is flamethrower, then we're just gonna fast forward this fight, which I think is what we're doing. That's fun. And this one's all proportionate damage, although I think these guys have a nasty habit of confusing me with Rocket Punch. So we're gonna summon Rima and hope for some legendary damage. Ooh, that was good. Oh no. Oh, that was luck of the draw. Certainly wraps things up there. That confused Galuf is going to be bad news. Oh, no, it's not. Interesting. And now this is a free heal. Although, you know, I should probably put on my Mighty March. So this is me honestly wasting a little bit of time. And seeing as my monk has fairly low HP, I've otherwise used very few resources, and I know that a bigger fight is coming up. We're going to go ahead and over-prepare slightly. Oops, I used chakra when I didn't mean to again. Now with lightning scrolls and Ramua and liberal use of both, this part shouldn't be a hard fight. So I think I'm just going to continue on to it. It shouldn't be bad. That's good news, really. Crosshair brightness. Always something I look for in a good cannon. If the crosshair isn't bright, forget it. I wonder if that was supposed to be silly. Even this fight, I think, is entirely proportionate damage. Oh, it's gonna shoot pretty soon. Oh. This is me saying, I don't want to spend more resources on this fight. Probably should have used a Rama. I still will if I've got the time here. Yeah, do it. Do it, you crazy old man. Yep. That's good stuff. I think there's 2 save points here, one near the top and one near the bottom. I don't remember precisely where they are. This area is a little bit confusing. Oh, especially when you don't have your passages. These guys are nice because you can learn era, but I'm not going to do that. I don't remember if there's any element here that's particularly favorable for... I can't equip any heavy armor at all. For random encounters is where I was going with that. Dark bow, interesting. Oh, there's no passage that way. And you can usually kind of tell where the passages are by looking for breaks in the texturing, basically. I think Romeo's ballad works here. So, yeah, you're seeing I'm not getting attacked. There we go. Probably worth the time it took me walking against random walls. Another dark bow. Yeah, and I seem to remember the first staircase down is actually the way forward, and so you go dawdle around in other places first. I don't think you can get to that from here. I don't have anyone who uses shields or heavy armor. The treasure chests here are going to be kind of crappy. I think. Is there anything good here? I don't know. Yeah, and I just got all those wonderful chemist drinks. They're not doing anything for me. Good fight. Not really. Yeah, hopefully that stuns these guys because they have a habit of using Frog Song, which is pretty annoying. And I don't think I have a very large amount of my Maiden's Kisses and other status restoring items. My offense is sure a lot better than it was in my other game. Even with dance. Wait, would I have had dance at this point? I wouldn't have. So that's why. Blue mages are okay on the offense. They're nothing to write home about. Oops, forgot. Oops. Well, this place did a good job successfully confusing me again. Got another moon ring blade, that could be useful. Probably, there's no particular reason to keep a flame ring on anymore. I don't think. So what's cool about that is I can throw him in the back row. And that's a pretty substantial boost. Oops. Again. I should probably keep this up. Where's that speed trap? Not here. Here. Stupid thing's got me so many times. Which is to say, stupid me has been got by it so many times. And there's another save point around here somewhere. I used it frequently in my last playthrough because I was trying to, what was I trying to do? There was a reason I wanted, to get the pretty rare level 4 graviga, whatever it is here. I won't need to do that this time, so I don't know. Should I just head for the end and try to beat the stupid dragon bird friend? It's got some complexities to it that I don't know if I'm prepared for. Did I save or not? Oh, I did. Okay. I don't remember the weakness order. I know the first one's air. I don't have any air. Do I? It's this guy, actually. I wonder if I can beat him. Is he sensitive to Romeo's Ballad? Nope. Or constrict. I think he uses level 4 gravity as a death attack, so it means I'm probably going to get nailed with it. What I don't remember is if my character's levels all fall into that range or not. Oh, he heals up by lightning. That's not cool. He thinks it's cool. I don't. Oh, goodness. This is an interesting but terrible battle. Oh, no one's level 4. Cool. Free Phoenix down. Those are actually, you know, still valuable in this game, so it's kind of cool. Kind of cool. I wonder what they were thinking when they introduced those level-based attacks, and they sure stuck around for a long time, didn't they? They even kind of weaseled their way into FF tactics. That was what I wanted to happen, by the way, that Sylph attack. That was about how I wanted that whole thing to go. You can see I've been fortunate. I would call it birthday luck, but it is no longer my birthday. Okay, we're in good condition. I otherwise don't know really what to do. I don't want to look up an FAQ on the spot. That seems unsporting. So here we go. Starts out weak to air. I don't have any air. I have violence. Violence is like air. Over the course of this fight, those regen ticks will add up and be useful. Of that I am sure. Ooh, that was nice. Chocobo I don't think counts as air. Sylph might, but I doubt it. That's okay. I don't know how I'm gonna heal from anything here. I would really like more of those critical hits, Ferris. Think you can help me out? That's not cool. We're gonna have to heal with, like, elixirs, which is a bit of a drag. Oh, nice critical. Okay, something changed there. I think we hit a phase change. But again, I don't remember the order, so I don't know what to do with this information. Is it attack with the same or the opposite? We'll try. Opposite. Okay, so I wonder if a water scroll would work right now. It does, not especially well. Ooh. Oops. Oh, I meant Shiva. That's a bit of a drag. Oh. I'm really looking forward to being able to buy those. Oh, we're on lightning now? Or are we? So does that mean use water? That was... okay, what happened? So this is the part where it's undead. I think you can use a Phoenix down on it? No, you can use level 5 death on it. That did nothing. I'm going to try using a Phoenix down on it. No, that didn't go well. Okay, we'll try using fists on it. Fists are good. Don't die, Lena. Okay, she didn't. How do I get more high potions right now? Or do I? Oh, that's rotten. Ooh. That was trickier than you would normally expect, but pulled through. When my dad says that, I get concerned. I don't know if my father has ever done an evil laugh. I do it with my kids pretty often. This is a pretty long scene. This is a pretty long scene. Pretty long scene, and I've watched all of these fairly recently, so that's part of the reason the impact is probably a little less than it would normally be. On my Game Boy Advance save, this is fun. I recently accidentally saved over my my highest level, like beat all the super bosses type save. It was a bit of a drag. It's not like I was really going to go back to it. My levels were in the 60s. I'd mastered every job. You know, you just feel like you should keep a save like that, and I accidentally saved over it. I still have one where I'm in the 40s and probably mastered all the regular jobs at least, but... is this that funny part where you can stop like literally anywhere? Yeah. Where are Minsid? Are they still at the catapult? This is bad news. Oh, I remember this. This is where you actually find out they were here and like left you a note. Fighting without our ninja, that's going to be awkward. Wrong ship. Whoops. Which boss is first? Is it Titan? Or Pyro Balls? I'd hate for it to be Titan and me to not be prepared. So let's get prepared. And if the battle with the Puro Burros, or whatever they translate them as, ends up being a rough one, if it ends up going well, I should say, we'll already be floating, and it'll be wonderful. Oh, that was stupid. High potions are a little bit in high demand right now, so that's what that was. You know, you feel pretty strong when you're fighting these early game enemies. So what we are doing right here is we're going to confuse a flying cat. Sounds strange, I know. It is. And we're going to do that because these guys cast float on us. And just in case we fight Titan, Titan won't be able to cause earthquakes that damage us. More is better, as you might expect. I wonder why they don't multi-target it. Victory. And what a victory. That 3 Galacat formation was about the best thing that could happen. Other times I'll run into just one. I forget if they appear with other enemies too. I mean, ideally I would like float on everybody, because then I'll live. May as well leave that guy there. It's an extra target for the cat. There we go. So again, that means if the first battle is Titan, which I forget, then we're covered. And if the second battle is Titan and the first battle goes well, we're covered for that too. Which is super. And we're going to Tycoon area, which is right here. Good fight. Okay, turns out there was no battle there. But we have to go to each meteorite in succession. And so one of them is these pyro ball guys, at least that's how I'm going to say it. One of them is Titan, and one of them is a really generic seeming Chimera. Where the heck am I? Oh, I went much too far. Oh, it's pyroballs. Okay. So what can I do to hurt everyone at once? I think there's an obvious answer here. That'll be our only form of useful offense. I think. Uh-oh. I remember them reviving each other. I don't remember them healing themselves. Cool. That was an example of that fight going well, if you were curious. That fight wasn't bad for my other group either, I think because of the blue mages, I could just use Aqua Breath. Okay, so the most important thing here is I have float. Now, it's possible other bad things could happen. I don't have any way to apply protect. I don't have any way to provide myself with image anymore, actually. Maybe Romeo's thing will work. Actually, I think I remember hearing that the paralyze can work. Oh, that works. Sweet. I'm wondering what should I stick with, like... Whoa. I'm surprised how fast that was, and it seems that Earthshaker didn't even happen. That's actually a summon monster for my nice summoner friend there, so that's awesome. to the final meteorite. Some kind of chimera, right? How do you guys feel about the way I say that word? I used to hear chimera. Oh, it's a manticore. My apologies. Oh, that was terrible. Wonder if this works. Oh, it's a different attack. Oh, that works. Okay, cool. So, Sylph was really bad. Chocobo will be really bad. None of these elemental ones are very likely to be strong. Let's try out Titan, though. Hey. Not bad at all. So I think something that would be useful to do before we go is visit Licks. I don't think we ever get to go back, and I think it's the only place where you ever get a discount. We have a fair bit of money. Not for long. Now, we're not very MP dependent. The only person who needs it at all is Lena, so we don't need to squander a bunch of money on elixirs. Or sorry, ethers. May as well get these on the cheaps. You know, may as well get a lot of those on the cheaps, because we can use them for killing stone enemies and such. Okay. Whoopsie. This is also a place to buy ninja supplies. How good is a shuriken? It doesn't say. Interesting. I just feel like I know it's something I could look up, but why would I buy them if they're comparable to some average dagger that's less expensive? Surely they didn't do that, but I don't know. Sillier things have happened in these games, right? I think we'll probably conclude with the Underworld one here. Pretty good timing for that. Pretty neat the way they did that effect back in Super Nintendo type days. This world always looks so darker, so much less palatable. Haha, palette. Yeah. We have no need to use items or anything here. I think we're good. So I'll wrap up for tonight. Anyone who's been joining me, thanks for hanging out. Anyone watching this later, thanks for watching this. Sorry about technical issues at the beginning. This is cool. We're at World 2. It's good. What just happened? I didn't know that happened. That's weird. Never seen that scene before. If, like, normally I'd put up a tent, right? Or get into a fight, see that I get a tent, eventually put up a tent. If I just stand here, will it happen again? I'm curious now. How much hand-holding does this game do? Cool. It even puts you back at those coordinates, I can tell, because I had stepped over one space. That's fun. Cool thing to know. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna be done. Thanks. See you. My son watches streamers now, popular streamers, and so he likes Stampy, who plays a lot of Minecraft, and he's loved his Breath of the Wild videos, and so he loves the way Stampy always goes, bye! Anyways, copies it when there's any reason for him to say bye. So now I feel like I should have some kind of sign off, like, bye! But I don't.